It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, squirt blurds. Word nerds. My name is Spencer. Welcome to the dictionary. This is episode F55. Oh, I'm just so glad that you are here. Come on in and let me tell you about some words. The first word in this episode is feldsher. Feldsher. F-E-L-D-S-H-E-R. This is a noun from 1877, and it is a medical or surgical practitioner without full professional qualifications or status in some East European countries, and especially Russia. Okay. They are working in the medical field and the surgical field, but they don't have official qualifications. Of course, I like to call them qualifications. So, this word, feldsher, is from the Russian feldsher, also from the German feldsher, or feldscherer, which means field surgeon, which is feld means field, and scherer means barber or surgeon. And I don't like the idea of a barber also being called a surgeon, but they're both good with sharp objects, I guess. I just went to the barber this morning, and, he shaved my beard and had a sharp thing near my throat, and of course I thought about, he could just murder me right now, but he was too nice. He would never do such a thing. So barber or surgeon is the same word in German. Barber and surgeon in German are the same word. But it doesn't explain why they don't have proper professional full qualifications or status. I don't know. You're a field surgeon, but you don't officially have the qualifications. Especially Russia. I don't know why. Okay, that's an interesting word to know. My sound effect today is going to be meow. The next word is feldspar. Feldspar. F-E-L-D-S-P-A-R. Noun from 1772. This is any of a group of crystalline minerals that consist of aluminum silicates with either potassium, sodium, calcium, or barium, and that are an essential constituent of nearly all crystalline rocks. I've heard this in terms of minerals and rocks, but I don't know what it actually is, and I'm not going to remember any of this. That's a group of crystalline minerals. That is the most important thing that you need to know, and maybe if I can find a good fancy looking picture, I'll put a picture of feldspar up on the social media. Okay, so this is from modified of obsolete German feldspath, which is now feldspat without the th, from the German feld, which means field, which we already know, class, we already learned that one, from the obsolete German word spath, which is now spat, which means spar. And I don't know what spar. We have to wait until the SPs to learn about the spars. Maybe my name will be in the SPs. I know Dispenser was. I'm not going to look. Don't look. We need to have it be a surprise. Anything else about feldspar? Nope, I don't think so. Isn't there a company? I feel like there's a commercial. Feldspar, or maybe it just sounds like it. Feldspar, I don't know. Meow. Next is feldspathic. I have a feeling this might be related to the previous word. Feldspathic is an adjective from circa 1828. This is relating to or containing feldspar. Whoa, could you ever imagine that's what it is? Yes, that's what it is. Okay. Meow. Next is felicific. Felicific. Adjective from 1865. Causing or intended to cause happiness. Whoa, that caused so much happiness in me. That was felicific. right? Felicific. Yep. Well, so the etymology says this is from the Latin felic or felix, but we have, in Spanish, there's feliz, like Feliz Navidad, happy Christmas. I feel like there's some other words. We're going to see some more words. Yeah, so let's just keep on going because we got some related happy words here. But yes, I've never heard of this word felicific. That means something that causes happiness or is intended to cause happiness. I like this word. I want to try to remember to use it, and I think you should too. Okay, felicific. Meow. Next, we have felicific calculus. I think there's a lot of people who would say that calculus does not bring them happiness, does not cause happiness inside of them. I never took the calculus. I'm just going to stretch this over a little bit. I never took the calculus, but I have heard a lot of people complain about calculus, so I don't know if it can be described as felicific calculus, but what does this specifically have to say? It's a noun from 1945. A method of determining the rightness of an action by balancing the probable pleasures and pains that it would produce. Oh, this is very thinky, so thinky. So it's not literally calculus, I don't think. This is more just like, it's like you're doing complicated math in your head, writing it down, whatever you're doing, you're figuring some stuff out, and we're just calling it calculus. But it's felicific because you're comparing the pleasures and the pains, the pros and the cons of what would occur when this action is done. The method of determining the rightness of an action. How right, well, this is from 1945, so we're probably talking about wartime, World War II. And so they were like, well, how right is this action? If we blow up these people, what will happen from that? What are the good things, the possible pleasures that will come from that? And what are the possible pains that would come from that? I don't really know why we're using felicific here. Not really about happiness. So this is a fascinating term. Okay, we got to move on to meow. Next we have felicitate. Felicitate. First form, adjective from 1605. This is obsolete and it means made happy. Made happy. So I am a felicitate person because I have been made happy when people are watching and listening and consuming my content. The weird, strange little bit of stuff that I make. But it's obsolete, so we don't really use this anymore. This is from the Lower Latin verb felicitare, which means to make happy. Yes, it does. But we have another form of this word. Meow. The second form of felicitate is a verb from the 1628, and it looks like it's only transitive. Number one is archaic, and it means to make happy. That was probably pretty obvious, but it's archaic. Really? I'm going to felicitate you. I'm going to make you happy by giving you a kitty cat. Number 2A, to consider happy or fortunate. To consider happy or to consider fortunate. To felicitate something. I don't really know how this action is happening. To consider happy. Number 2B is to offer congratulations to. Felicitations. You must be so happy that you finished kindergarten. Felicitations to you. I'm felicitating you. I'm offering up my congratulations to you, 5-year-old, for graduating kindergarten. You completely understand what I'm saying, right? Right? Felicitation is a noun. A thing that makes you happy is offering congratulations. A felicitator. Felicitator is a noun. Oh, those taters do make me happy. They make my taste buds oh so happy. They are some very good felicitators. And now we got to get to some more related happy words. Meow. We have felicitous. Felicitous, adjective from 1789. Number 1, very well suited or expressed. And the synonym is apt. Apt, like, well, there's an example. A felicitous remark. A felicitous remark, it's very apt. It is well suited or expressed. They said it well when they said that remark. It was very appropriate for the situation. I don't have any felicitous remarks. Number 2, the synonyms are pleasant and delightful. And the example is felicitous weather. What felicitous weather we are having. That was a very felicitous remark you just said. It was very appropriate to the situation. Because the weather is so pleasant and delightful. I agree. Ho, ho, ho. The synonym for felicitous is the word fit. Fit, like it fits so well. It is so worthy of this thing right now. Felicitously is an adverb, and felicitousness is a noun and a funny word to say. Felicitousness. Okay, anything else for that one? No, it wasn't really about happiness. This one doesn't have any etymology. I'm sure it's related to that Lower Latin word phallic or phallics. But it didn't, nothing, I mean, I guess pleasant, delightful. Yeah, that it's kind of happy related, I think. Yes, I agree with you. Meow. Next is Felicity. There was that TV show, I think in the 90s, called Felicity. I never really watched it. And there was a whole big hubbub when she cut her hair. But come on, just let her live her life. Felicity. Felicity is a noun from the 14th century. 1a. The quality or state of being happy. Especially great happiness. As in the example, marital felicity. I don't think this is a word that really gets used so much these days. This book is filled with words that don't really get used so much. Maybe certain people, maybe certain cultures, whatever. But yeah, marital felicity. I have marital felicity because Sharon and I have great happiness. Great happiness. We watch movies. We make each other laugh. We come up with ideas for movies and sketches and songs. And it's just so silly. So silly. Constantly, all the time, we're just laughing. We have no time for anything else but laughing. 1b is an instance of happiness. Oh, that right there, that little moment, I had an instance of happiness. That was a felicity for me. Number 2, something that causes happiness is a felicity. I have some coffee in this thing. I'm drinking it kind of late because I have a very, very, very late plane trip tonight. And so I'm just going to stay up the whole time. And so some people, coffee is a felicity to them. To me, coffee is the opposite of a felicity because I don't like the taste. But sugar is a felicity. I should probably chill the hell out on the sugar. I'm trying. Let's see. What is the next definition? What's the next definition on The Price is Right? Number 3 for felicity is a pleasing manner or quality, especially in art or language, as in a felicity with words. A pleasing manner or quality in art or language. I do not have a felicity with words. I don't know how to use the big words and make them sound so pretty, as you can tell. I prefer to keep my vocabulary because I'm forced to by my own brain. I prefer to keep it nice and basic so everyone can understand, and I use a lot of the same words over and over again, and that's okay. But I do like to have fun with the words and make silliness out of them. Number 4, an apt expression. Is this an apt expression when you look at my face? In certain contexts, maybe. So the word felicity is from the Latin felicitat or felicitas or felic or felix, which means fruitful or happy. And there's more at the word feminine. I was not expecting that. Really? Interesting. Feminine is right over here. What's the connection? Oh, wow, there's some interesting etymology there. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the fruitful part. That's the connection. Yes, fruitful. Okay, now it makes more sense. All right, next word. We have felid, F-E-L-I-D, noun from circa 1889, and the synonym is the 1B definition for the word cat. Cat. Should we... Oh my God, I'm almost on that page. I had my hand back over here. We have... let's see. Let's look up just what exactly. Do you know what a cat is? If you don't know what a cat is, I will go to the 1B definition and I shall tell you any of the family Felidae or Felidae of the carnivorous. Yeah, it's just describing a cat. So that's what it is. And so that's the family name. Well, let's backtrack. Felid is also an adjective, or felid, I guess. And so this is from the New Latin, I guess it's Felidae, which is the family name. Also, Felis, which is the genus of the cats. The genus of the cats. We got the different groups, the families and the genuses. And I think family is bigger than the genus. And it's the Latin word. Felid is the Latin word for cat. All of the cats in the world are felids. And now we have to get to the next word. Meow. Meow. Roar. Meow. Meow. Those are all the cat sounds. Sometimes they make little chirps. Or growl. Sometimes they growl. Our cat Audrey, I'll tell you about her later. This next word is feline. It's not feline. That would be interesting because lions are cats. It's feline. Feline. Adjective from 1681, number 1, of relating to or affecting cats or the cat family. And we're going to have a couple more of those words, something that is affecting the cats. Number 2, resembling a cat. Resembling a cat. As yesterday I saw a human who was resembling a cat because she was dressed up for Halloween, even though it was a week early, and I think she had like cheetah tights on, but her face specifically was made up. She had makeup on to look like a cat. So 2A is sleekly graceful. Sleekly graceful. I am definitely not this type of I don't know if I'm any type of feline, but definitely not sleekly graceful. I like to dance and move, but I don't know if we could call it sleekly graceful. Number 2B, synonyms are sly and treacherous. Oh, those cats, they get all up in some business because they can be sleek and they can be graceful and they can also be sly and treacherous. And also 2C, the synonym is stealthy. Sometimes I will turn around and there's a cat there and I'm like, where did you come from? You are so stealthy. Feline. It's hard not to say it. Feline. Feline. Noun. That's a noun. Felinely. That is an adverb. That person did that thing felinely because when they scared that person because they were so stealthy. They were like a cat. Felinity. Felinity, that is a noun. Okay. We already talked about the etymology. I will quickly tell you about the cats in my life. First off, I got Bailey when she was about 4 months old, and this was in 2008. And I'm not going to go into a whole long thing. I'm just going to be quick about the cats because I love my cats. Bailey got Bailey. I mentioned a while ago that her life came to an end. We had to make that very difficult decision earlier this year, earlier in 2024, and I miss her. I miss her so much, and she's popped up in my dreams a couple of times, and I'm sure she will not stop popping up in my dreams. But she was my baby. She was like my first real pet, and she lived to be 16 years old. I really wanted her to live longer, but it's not how it goes. And so that was my first cat, first pet, really. I mean, I had other pets when I was younger, but they don't count. And then Sharon came into my life, and she brought over her cat, Merlin, who was a bit older than Bailey. And so he lived with us until we also had to put him to sleep when the time came. He was, I think, 15 and a half years old. I have a little Merlin tattoo. It's a wizard. God, that's hard to show you. It's a wizard's hat. Twist the arm all the way. Come on. Anyway, it's a wizard's hat for M. Merlin. He was a Maine Coon. And he was such a sweet little boy. Like, sometimes I would lay on the floor if we were watching TV or a movie, and he would curl up like in my arm and put his face in my armpit. And oh, he was the best. He was the best. Bailey was the best too. They're all the best. And then after Merlin passed away, another kitten came into our life unexpectedly, and that was Audrey. And she just turned 8 years old. She is a tuxedo cat, and she is so goofy and silly and sweet. And I could obviously talk about all three of them for a while, but she's also the best. And we have a bond. I hit the microphone. We have a bond. This little feline. She's not little. She's a good size, and she's a little husky and muscular and goofy, and she runs around like all the cats do. But we have a bond. She follows me around sometimes, and Bailey did too, but it's in a different way. We had a incredibly strong bond with Bailey, and a different strong bond with Audrey. Yeah, she's just the best. I have some super goofy pictures of her. Yeah, I don't know what. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all, as much detail as you're gonna get from me today about my felines in my life. All right, they're the best. Okay, now we got to move on to meow. Feline distemper. 2 words. Noun from 1942. The synonym is panleukopenia. Panleukopenia. And now we're going to move right into meow. Feline panleukopenia. Noun from circa 1943. The synonym is again panleukopenia. So we'll talk about that later in this podcast. It's the feline the feline version of this thing called panleukopenia. Okay. Meow. Now we have, this is our last word. We have 3 forms here in this episode. It's the word fell, F-E-L-L. So, the first form is a noun from before the 12th century. Number 1, the synonyms are skin, hide, and pelt. Just the different, I didn't know that's what you could call it, fell? The skin of an animal, also called the hide, or the pelt. All of those are the same, talking about basically the same thing, the fell. Number 2, a thin, tough membrane covering a carcass directly under the hide. So this feels clearly related, but slightly different. It's a specific membrane under the hide. I guess it's under the skin. I don't know anything about this fell. Same as number 1. Basically the etymology just says this is from Old High German fell, which means skin. So it's skin. Fell is skin. Did not know that. Meow. Wasn't that the same as the last one? Can I do a different meow? Meow. The second form of fell is a verb from before the 12th century, and it looks like it is just transitive. Number 1A, to cut, knock, or bring down, as in fell a tree. Fell a tree. You're just making it fall, so you're felling it. I felled a tree. It fell down. 1B, the synonym is kill. So you could be talking about, now is this related to the previous word? You could fell an animal, kill an animal, and then you take its fell if that's the type of hunter you are. Number 2 is to sew, S-E-W, with like a needle and thread. An example of what you're sewing is a seam. To sew by folding one raw edge under the other and sewing flat on the wrong side. The wrong side? Well, why would you do that if it's the wrong side? Fellable is an adjective and feller is a noun. So the etymology here, I mean, it's basically from the word fall, which makes sense. But now, because it also means kill, I feel like there's got to be a connection, maybe possibly, between this one and the skin one. I don't know. Maybe we'll never know. If you have any information, you can let me know by email, social media, all that stuff. Okay, and now the very last one. Meow. It's the third form of fell. It is the past version of the word fall, and that's it. So now we are going to pick a word of the episode. Today we had feldsher, feldspar, feldspathic, felicific calculus, felicitate, felicitous. Did I read that one? Yes, I did. Felicity, felid, feline, feline distemper, feline panleukopenia, fell. Well. I mean, I think I'm probably just going to pick feline as the word of the episode. I was also very tempted to pick felicific calculus. Basically, if you're making a pros and cons list, you are doing felicific calculus. You didn't know that's what that was called, but you know now, and so you should try and remember that phrase, everybody. Do I pick that one? Maybe that's a fun, but feline is here. I don't know. I'll just pick feline, but you know that the runner-up is felicific calculus. Felicific calculus is making a list of pros and cons. I don't know. My notes are not great, but you get the idea. But the real song should be feline, a song for feline. Felines are great. I've had 3 felines. They're not lions, but they're related to lions because they're felids. Kitty cats are felines. My songs just get off track, but that's okay. Now, it's movie time. It's movie time. Here on the podcast about words, it's movie time. Do I keep on telling you 2 at a time? No, let's do 1 at a time. Apartment 7A. This is the prequel to Rosemary's Baby, and I think it would be good. Let's see. Do you watch it first and then Rosemary's Baby? There's a lot of references in Apartment 7A to Rosemary's Baby, clearly, because it literally happens right before. And so do you remind yourself of Rosemary's Baby and then you watch Apartment 7A? That's probably fine because, you know, they were made in that order. But if you like Rosemary's Baby, you might like Apartment 7A. There's some real creepy stuff in there. And it's a well-made movie. Okay, that's it. We're done for today. That's it. That's all you're getting from me today, unless there's more episodes that are available to you, and then you can listen or watch those. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Meow.